current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top-tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey. I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska's always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Facing the court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we believe in treating every person with respect, compassion, and understanding. When legal troubles are keeping you up, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. To learn more, call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday on a week that's, in my opinion, flying by. It's the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Rico with you. What's up, Rico?
Yeller.
How's the day?
Great.
You wear Apple Watch often?
Every day.
Looks new. Like it looks not new because I can tell it's one of the older series. But
well, it is new.
It is
newer. Not really.
A year.
Newer to me. Yeah. About
a year. Yeah. They came out with these ultra ones that are the screen takes up the entire wrist.
I've seen people with those. I'm like, that's too much watch.
I want it.
Too much watch. What are you going to do with it?
Tell time.
I can tell time just fine. It's 1:12.
Oh, here we are. And it's the Happy Hour.
There we go.
That is the time it is. 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline. The Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. All right. Everybody can stop panicking now because it is official. John Butler is Nebraska's new defensive backs coach. It comes after the news of last week that Evan Cooper resigns.
Mm-hmm.
And while that might have been a surprise, it was quickly noted by, I think, Pete Thamel of ESPN had it first on Saturday, that Nebraska was expected to hire John Butler, a veteran assistant coach with both college football and NFL experience. Well, as we know, it's official.
Why did it take so long? Like we knew. We all knew because it was announced, and that was the only name that you heard.
It was.
For the longest time, and it took them a week-ish.
Yeah.
A little under a week to make it official. But that would make that the speed at which it was announced that he was going to be the next defensive backs coach made it seem like a contract was shortly on the way. But apparently something happened and they needed to rework something probably.
Maybe just background checks? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, background checks. All right, so it's a
hey, what's this incident where you got stopped by a police officer,
yeah,
John?
What are you doing, John?
What happened?
No,
so it's official. I'm sure it's contract stuff. But
why'd you leave Buffalo? Well, I wanted to be a defensive coordinator and they didn't let me.
And they passed me up. My good friend Sean McDermott, who I went to high school with, passed me up.
That's
unfortunately,
tough.
Yeah. Anyway, there was some really good words. Once again, there's our Athletic article.
Good words
with the Buffalo Bills defensive backs talking about John Butler and who he was as a coach and how well they got along with him and how much they did not want to see him go. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer had some quotes in there as well. So those are two notable names in that Buffalo secondary that talked about John Butler, had rave reviews. Now, I think there's going to be some growing pains. I'm sure there's going to be some assessment of the roster, but you look at what Nebraska has in that room and you hope that the transition can potentially be smooth. It's not probably going to be seamless, but the transition is smooth. And so still a little over a month until game day, and
you got a little bit of time.
You're still have time,
some camp time with the guys and learning more about them. We talked about it a little bit, just a smidge on Saturday out at the Lincoln Sports Foundation at the running backs camp. And what are the odds, what are the odds that you think that Jaden Doss goes back to wide receiver?
I don't know. I feel like those are things that get cleared by Matt Rule.
Yeah, but was it a thing where Garrett McGuire and Evan Cooper at the time were like, you know what? We think you'd be better at corner, or you would have more playing time at defensive back, or like the different options of this is Evan Cooper wanted him at defensive back. Matt Rule was like, yeah, sure, he's not getting a lot of time at wide receiver. Or Garrett McGuire was like, you know what? I don't think he's going to get that much time, or he's not doing that well at wide receiver. Let's move him to defensive back so we can use his athleticism. Whichever side of the coin that lands on, is there a chance that John Butler looks at Doss and goes, you know what? I understand what they were trying to do here, but I think you'd be better on the offensive side of the ball.
I think if honestly, I think he'll stay at corner for a while, because Garrett McGuire would still feel the same way.
Maybe he does. Maybe he pulls a Tommy Hill and he does both.
Maybe, but it didn't work great for Tommy Hill while he was trying to play both.
Yeah,
it was up until he solely went on defense that he really started to show up.
Doss isn't Hill.
He's not.
He can do both.
Hill isn't Doss.
He can do both.
402-464-5685. Just to give you guys a little bit more information on John Butler, and it's been like we said, notable and noted that Butler is probably going to join the Nebraska coaching staff. John Butler said this: "I'm excited to join Coach Rule, this staff, and the great tradition of Nebraska football and the black shirt defense." Butler said, "I look forward to working with our players to develop them as players, students, and young men day by day." All right, passed the test there. Play of Butler's defensive backs in Buffalo helped the Bills reach the AFC playoffs each of the past 5 seasons. Bills captured the AFC East divisional title the past 4 years. Butler spent his first 4 seasons in Buffalo from 2018 to 21 as the DB's coach before adding the passing game coordinator title the past 2 seasons. During his 6 seasons at the helm of the Buffalo secondary, cornerbacks Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer were all pro selections, while safety Micah Hyde was second-team honoree. Buffalo has been among the top defenses in the league throughout Butler's time on the staff from 2018 through the end of last season. The Bills' defense ranked first in the NFL in total yards allowed per game, passing yards allowed per game, yards allowed per completion, yards allowed per attempt, TD passes allowed, opponent passer rating, and passing first downs allowed.
That is a lot of passing and a lot of
first.
Yeah, a lot of firsts and passing, like the word passing.
How about this? The stifling pass defense allowed Buffalo to rank second in the NFL in points allowed over the past 6 seasons, as the Bills won at least 11 games 4 of those 6 seasons. Before Buffalo, he was on Bill O'Brien's Houston Texans staff from 2014 to 2017. During the 4 seasons, led the Texans secondary. Houston captured a pair of AFC South titles, and the defense allowed the 4th fewest passing yards per game in that time frame. In 2016, Houston ranked first in total defense and allowed the 2nd fewest passing yards per game in the NFL.
I'm just saying, seems like a trend, because I can already hear people saying with the Buffalo, the numbers there.
Yeah.
You know, he was only the DB's coach. It was the whole defense and this and that. Well, in Houston, kind of the same numbers, 4th in fewest passing yards allowed. And although, yes, it's the NFL and you have these amazing athletes and it's the whole defense and he's not coordinating the defense, he's coaching these DBs up from where they are, from where they start coming into the NFL, and leading them on a path to become better defenders, to then have the first best passing defense, first in fewest yards allowed passing, and all of those other statistics that Nick was rattling off. Yes, they are phenomenal athletes and they're the best at their craft, which is why they're in the NFL, but it still takes a coach to put them in the right position and get them to master their craft. Mm-hmm. And that's something that John Butler was doing a very phenomenal job at in Buffalo, and hopefully is able to bring it to Nebraska and, show these guys, look, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Tre'Davious White, yes, they're all pro selections and they're wonderful NFL athletes, but I coach them. I can coach you too. I can potentially get you to this level.
So John Butler has a pretty extensive career. Started his coaching career at a D3 school, Catholic University.
That's it.
It just is Catholic. They are the Cardinals, the Catholic University Cardinals.
That's not surprising.
Where do you think
Where is
Catholic,
Catholic
University is?
It's
Rico.
It's East Coast.
Okay. Do you have any guesses? They play at Cardinal Stadium, which holds 3,500 people. They play on artificial turf. They are a member of the New England Women's and Men's Athletic Conference, the new MAC.
So that helps me out because I was going to say one of the Carolinas, but it's not going to be there. It's Massachusetts,
Washington D.C.
Of course.
New England Women's and Men's Athletic Conference, the new MAC.
The new MAC.
That is what it is abbreviated as. NEWMAC, the new MAC, not the old MAC, the new MAC. The team played its first game in 1895. How about that?
Jinx.
It was put on hiatus though during World War II. So anyway,
I feel like a lot of things were put on hiatus.
More than likely. I said that after, and I was like, oh, probably. So he was a Catholic. He was at Catholic 1995 and 96. Then went to Texas as a grad assistant. Then went to
Those are very different.
Very different. Midwestern State, Texas State, Harvard, Minnesota, where he was the special teams coordinator and linebackers coach. Made the jump from Minnesota to South Carolina as the special teams coordinator and outside linebackers coach. Then in 2012 to 2013, he was at Penn State as the secondary coach before in 2013, Bill O'Brien made him the defensive coordinator and cornerbacks coach. Then he left to follow Bill O'Brien to Houston to be a part of that Texans staff before ultimately coaching the Bills up until 2023. So
can I just say,
there's a little bit on John Butler.
That Harvard stop is just very random.
The Catholic stop is random.
That's the start.
That's the start.
You got to start somewhere.
At Catholic.
You start Catholic.
You don't start Catholic. You start at Catholic.
You start Catholic.
This is not religion. This is at Catholic, the Catholic University Cardinals football team.
You start at Catholic. You go to all those other stops, and then you go to Texas from Catholic.
Hold on.
You go to Texas. That Harvard stop is just throwing me off.
Yes. So the Catholic University football team.
The Catholic.
They were the Catholic University.
That
The
just
official
sounds
website
weird.
of Catholic University of America is actually what it's called.
Oh.
Catholic University of America.
COA.
Yeah, there you go.
CUOA.
So they were 5-5 last year.
Because they don't have John Butler.
They lost a couple of games pretty badly. They lost to Randolph from Ashland, Virginia, 59-14. They lost to Susquehanna from Sellings Grove, Pennsylvania.
Say that one again.
Susquehanna.
Okay. I don't know how to say it.
Susquehanna.
Susquehanna.
Oh, maybe.
Close
50-21. Yeah. Had finished the season on a high note, though. 3 dubs. They beat Keystone, they beat Wilkes, and beat Uniata.
There we go.
From Washington, D.C.
You take the momentum into next season.
Yeah, next season. They start, let's see their 2024 schedule.
You got it, Catholic.
Got anybody tough on their skill?
You know?
They got to start out with McDaniel in Westminster.
That's a tough one.
The Green Terror, the McDaniel Green Terror.
Green Terror?
Yes.
Oh.
The McDaniel Green Terror.
I need a hat.
September 6th. It's a Friday night game, so we got a short week. Capital. Then
ESPN
it's
Plus.
They are all on Flow Sports.
So close.
You can watch Catholic University of America on Flow Sports. A lot of Pennsylvania teams, a lot of Huntington, Pennsylvania, Alfred, New York. You got to play the Alfred Saxons on September 28th.
Catholic versus the Saxons.
Yes. The Cardinals versus the Saxons.
Of course.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm interested to see. Okay, let's check out Catholic's baseball team. 33-14 this year.
Wow.
Catholic, they lost to Salve Regina though to start the season. United States Coast Guard Academy, they defeated them out in Myrtle Beach. Scranton, they took 2 of 4 from Scranton.
Oh,
and a couple of doubleheaders. They beat number 4 Salisbury.
0650S. Why do we care? John Butler hasn't been there since you were in grade school. It's very important to know where your DB coach started.
Listen, this is incredible.
Also, I've never heard of Catholic University. Therefore, it's important that we know this.
4951 said I started Catholic too.
There you go.
There you go. Congratulations. We'll keep tabs on Catholic University.
We will. It's important.
There's usually one team every year that we kind of keep tabs on.
What happened to our Russian coach at USF?
Alex Golesh.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think he's still there.
Perfect.
Alex Golesh is the head football coach at the University of South Florida. Russian. Yeah. Former Tennessee assistant. Yeah, Alex Golesh. From Dublin, Ohio is where his hometown is.
Dublin, Russia.
It's got to be Russia. Anyway.
For anybody who knows.
Yes, the son of Russian immigrant parents.
There we go.
There it is.
No Russian.
No Russian in Alex, but his parents were Russian. So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we do want to get to a couple more things. And starting off, which Big Ten football coach has the most pressure on them? Michigan ushers in Sharon Moore. Ryan Day is still at Ohio State. Lincoln Riley with USC. Matt Rule in Nebraska. Which coach has the most pressure to perform this season? We'll talk about that. Want your thoughts? 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. You can always follow us on Twitter, Nick_Sainer, and at Radio Rico AC. We'll step aside, talk about the pressure and on Big Ten coaches coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a place to relax and unwind after a busy day? Cigars Lounge at 8th and Q in the Haymarket is the perfect place to enjoy good company, a cocktail, and of course a cigar. Visit Cigars Lounge on Tuesdays for Top Shelf Tuesday and enjoy 50% off select spirits. Cigars Lounge offers Perdomo, San Cristobal, Rock Patel, and more of the top stogie brands that you know and love. But that's not all. If you mention this ad between noon and 5 p.m., you'll receive 15% off your entire tab just by mentioning the ticket. Check out Cigars Lounge today at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Husker fan, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Soulful Casino in Havelock is a family-owned business, providing incredible food and service that'll have you craving more with every bite. Soulful Casino offers everything from pulled pork to fried chicken, catfish, ribs, and even quesadillas. You want sides? They've got them. From fries, green beans and baked beans, to collard greens, potato salad, and sweet dill corn. Stop by for lunch as they have specials Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Soulful Casino, located in Havelock, where every bite you take fills the soul.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I'd like Bill to be say next to you, so when you say on three, he goes,
That'd be awesome. That would be. Steve Sipple on three. You should be there just for that.
That's all I said for 3 days.
Kirk Francis, Steve Sipple from the Husker Online on 3 Network.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Evan Cooper was Matt Rule's dude, right, with prospect identification. How do you think Nebraska's philosophy and process changed with Evan Cooper out the door?
That's such a great question. Turn back towards, Sean Padden and Ryan Callahan and Vince Ginta and those guys that are in the recruiting room. They're no slouches.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to the Happy Hour.
We were in the middle of our tournament when my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there.
With Nick Sainert.
I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour on a Thursday. Once again, John Butler officially named Nebraska's defensive backs coach, replacing Evan Cooper after his resignation last week. It was also announced for Nebraska football that a couple of players will be going to Big Ten Media Days. Big Ten Media Days, the 23rd through the 25th, 23rd, 24th, 25th is when teams will speak. Now that there's 18, they have 6 per day. The 3 Husker representatives, 2 from defense, 1 from the offense. Ty Robinson, Isaac Gifford, and Ben Scott are your 3 Nebraska football representatives. We kind of guessed this the other day.
I got to shout out Austin.
Didn't know about Ben Scott.
Well, I got to shout out Austin. He got it right. He nailed it on the head. Those are the 3 he said. He said Isaac, Ty, Ben. And we were arguing between Ty and Nash.
Yep.
And then we were trying to figure out. We all figured Isaac would go. That was the one we all got that one correct. But Austin Orman on the block, old school, he nailed it.
That is correct. So once again, congrats to those 3. And by me saying surprised or not sure about Ben Scott, that wasn't that he wasn't qualified for it. He's one of the most experienced guys on this team when it comes to college football. But Ben Scott, at least, somebody that probably had NFL opportunities last year, maybe not through the draft, but through undrafted opportunities. So comes back to Nebraska, and we'll see if Ben Scott hears his name called in one of the 3 days of the NFL draft coming up in April. But Isaac Gifford, Ty Robinson, 3 experienced guys there. I'm so excited to see the Ty Robinson, Nash Hutmaker, and then throwing in there, the duo, but then throwing in there the Cam Lenharts, the Uman Mielens, the James Williams. Like Jamari Butler is a name that people are forgetting about as well.
I do, and I don't know why.
That front four is a group that Nebraska's fan base should really get excited about.
The rotation between all of the guys on that front four is going to be front three. This is a 3-4, whatever. Is going to be amazing because we saw the devastation that Cam Lenhart can cause last year as a true freshman. Well, you give him a full off season, a full season of knowing it. The same defensive line coach, the same defensive coordinator. I am really excited to see that guy for another season. Princewell Uman Mielen, again, another guy who was doing big things. Riley Van Poppel, although it wasn't as much. He flashed when he did get a chance. James Williams, the coaching staff is extremely excited about his potential getting to the quarterback, being a pass rusher. That front, however many, is going to be such a fun watch. I don't know how many people watch the trenches on a game-to-game basis, but this season you're going to really want to pay attention to those guys up front.
Yeah, I think even especially on the offensive side too. You go on the offensive side, and we mentioned Turner Corcoran, Bryce Benhart. If Prohaska's healthy this year, Ben Scott obviously. I just think like each year Nebraska slowly, and each year under Donovan Raiola specifically, Nebraska has slowly gotten better.
I can agree with that.
Like the snaps haven't been an issue. They weren't an issue last year. We always go back to like the extreme with Cam Jurgens that one season, his junior year, I believe, where the snaps were just consistently a problem. But ultimately, Nebraska hasn't had that in the last couple of years under Donovan Raiola. And so I would be encouraged, I think, for Nebraska fans to take a look at this offensive line too. There's going to be so much said about the defensive line, and we go through the same song and dance, it feels like, every fall, to where it's, man, Nebraska's front four or front seven just isn't getting enough pressure on the quarterback. They're not sacking guys. Well, we talk about it also extensively to where guys like Nash Hutmaker and Ty Robinson, it's forced the quarterback under duress, and maybe that's going to help out the secondary. We just last segment spit through all of the rankings in the NFL under John Butler that his defensive back staffs have had.
Strong.
And it's first in passing yards or passing yards attempted per play, and the categories go on and on. If I can find them real quickly here.
Those two at the front.
Here it is. So it's total yards per game, passing yards per game allowed, yards allowed per completion, yards allowed per attempt, touchdown passes allowed, opponent passer rating, and passing first downs allowed. So you talk about, yes, Evan Cooper's resignation was surprising. John Butler fills that void. At the end of the day, Tony White's still there. The scheme is still there. So maybe there's some minor changes, but hopefully under the tutelage of John Butler, Nebraska's secondary can maybe close that turnover margin gap that was minus 17 last year. And with the help of the front four in that Cam Lenhart, Jamari Butler, and then the two big guys in the middle, if they could put the quarterback under duress, who knows what that means for Nebraska's linebackers and or secondary.
Did John Butler also get the passing game coordinator title?
I need to look that up
because I understand I was confused about that. Austin kind of talked me off the ledge when we were going over John Butler being the defensive backs coach and potentially the passing game coordinator, because I just thought that it was a weird combination. But when you think about it, who better to help coach the passing game than the guy who is coaching up the defensive backs, the guys who are defending? So he got that as well.
He is passing game coordinator.
What better way to coach passing game than to have the guy who's teaching the defensive backs what to look for in a quarterback? So you're going to teach the quarterback what these guys are going to look for. So that'll help your young quarterback. If it's going to be Dylan Raiola, 99.9% sure it's going to be Dylan Raiola under center to start game one, teaching him what to look for in these defensive backs from a guy who has been coaching defensive backs at the highest level for a long time. So I'm really excited about that part of it. And, we keep talking about, we were just talking about the trenches and the offensive line and the improvement that they've made with Donovan Raiola at the helm there. Well, my excitement is just for the offense as a whole because of the improvements that the offensive line has shown under Donovan Raiola year after year. And then this is not a slight to any of the past wide receivers, but the wide receiver room, although I really, truly, again, this is going to sound bad, trust Jamal Banks really is the only one because of his experience as a wide receiver in college. The guys that they did get and the guys that are still there, the Isaiah Neors, the Jalen Lloyds, the Malachi Colemans, the Isaiah Garcia Castanedas, all those guys in that wide receiver room, it makes me feel really good about the offense as a whole if the quarterback has enough time to get them the ball, because that wide receiver room has so much talent. The quarterback, if he continues to build upon what he did in the spring game and his high school career, will be able to get them the ball because of all of the improvements that the defense or that the offensive line has made through the years with Don Raiola and the experience that they have returning at both tackle spots. Again, if Teddy Prohaska can continue and stay healthy, and Ben Scott right there in the middle, keeping the pressure out of the middle, out of Raiola's face, and allowing him to step up into his throws. It's an exciting prospect with all of these things if they work in what's the word I'm looking for? Symbiosis, something like that. Whatever. If they all work together,
a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, symbiotic relationship between all of those parts. The offense is going to be really fun to watch. I'm not going to say they're going to be really good because I don't know yet, but they're going to be really fun to watch.
So once again, Nebraska sending Isaac Gifford, Ben Scott, and Ty Robinson to Indianapolis for Big Ten Media Days. By the way, 93.7 The Ticket, you know it. We'll be there in Indy.
Nick will be there.
Big Ten Media Days. I will be there, but
take some field turf.
I will not. I will not. Anyway, so one thing I did want to get to, pressure on Big Ten football coaches, because you look around and Nebraska, Big Ten Conference is adding a couple of new faces. Obviously, there's 4 of them. You have Jed Fish at Washington, Dan Lanning at Oregon, Lincoln Riley at USC, and a first-year head coach, Deshaun Foster at UCLA. And I wanted to get into this just a little bit as we round out this segment of who has the most pressure to win in the Big Ten Conference. We can look at it 2 ways. Out of those first 4 schools, who has the most pressure out of the newbies? And I think instantly we go to Lincoln Riley. But my answer specifically changes when we look at the Big Ten Conference as a whole.
I have different ways in looking at the word pressure for these guys, because you have the pressure of you haven't been performing to the standards and we need you to step up, or we need you to take that next jump as a head coach with this team. There's that aspect of it. And then there's the aspect of, specifically for Dan Lanning, where you have been picked by so many people to be one of the cream of the crop, one of the teams in the Big Ten title game. If you're not like he's going to get fired, but that's a lot of pressure. So there's the you could get fired pressure, and there's the not living up to expectations placed on you by everyone pressure. Are
we reading too much or jumping the gun a little bit on Dan Lanning?
What do you mean?
So what I mean, he's been in Oregon 2 years.
Has it only been 2 years?
He got there in 2022, came from Georgia, obviously was the coordinator at Georgia. Was 10-3 his first year, won the Holiday Bowl, finished the season ranked 15th. Then last year was 12-2, won the Fiesta Bowl, and finished 6th in the country. It's early in Dan Lanning's career. And another piece of this is the ability to recruit, right? In Oregon, we know the resources that they offer.
Unlimited NIL.
Dan Lanning brought in the fourth ranked recruiting class in the country in 2024. In 2023, 9th in the country. His first one in 2022 when he got there was, if it decides to load here, 16th. And then in 2025 posed to potentially have the number 1 class in the country if things go the way. Currently, Oregon is at 4th, and they have 5 recruits committed to them that are rated inside the top 100 in the rankings. So I don't know if we are jumping the gun on Dan Lanning and giving him this elite coach status as he's getting ready to enter his 3rd year, but the guy is 22-5. Now, on top of that, when we're talking about the pressure conversation, a name that's always brought up is Ryan Day at Ohio State. Somebody that's lost to Michigan 3 straight years. On top of that, has lost 2 straight bowl games. They lost the Peach Bowl in 2022, and they lost the Cotton Bowl just last season in 2023.
Can Ohio State use the SEC excuse?
Well, Ohio State probably should have beaten Georgia in that playoff berth. But Ohio State at the end of the day hasn't won a championship since 2014 and has been rated in the top 5 all season long for 5 of Ryan Day's 6 years. He is not the lowest rating that Ohio State has had next to their name under Ryan Day, where when he got there in 2018 or got the head coaching job in 2018, the lowest rating was where they ended the season last year in 2023 at 10th. They've never been rated outside of the top 10. And so you look at Ohio State, they started the season under, this is in order from 2018, started the season under Ryan Day, 5th, 2nd, 4th, 2nd, 3rd. They have never been rated number 1 under Ryan Day. They've been rated number 2 in each of those seasons at least once. And they finished the season rated 3rd, 2nd, 6th, 4th, and last year with 10th.
That's the Ryan Day situation is you've got to be careful situation with Ohio State.
Yeah.
Where those numbers you just listed off are ridiculous.
The guy is 56-8.
You've never been ranked outside of the top 10 in his entire career, but it's different from the Harbaugh situation where he was on the chopping block for a while because he just couldn't beat Ohio State. Beating everybody else, couldn't beat Ohio State. Was on the chopping block, got the 1-year extension, did what he did at Michigan with the playoff berths, and then finally the national championship before he left for the NFL. Ryan Day, his record is better than Harbaugh's was during that span. He just hasn't beaten Michigan the last 3 years. He's never won a title. Ohio State hasn't won a title since 2014, but you've been on the verge every single year. The pressure for him is the same as Dan Lanning, where he's not going to get fired. He better not get fired, right? But are you going to underperform again?
Can we talk about the expectation and I don't want to overuse the word pressure. The magnitude of that Michigan game. First year, Sharon Moore. Sharon Moore beat you last year as the interim.
Ryan Day cannot lose that game. He can't. You're probably going to you're either undefeated or have 1 loss going into that game with the Oregon game matchup.
So when you look at Ohio State here, and another team that we can throw into this as we just kind of continue to bring in teams is Penn State. James Franklin, this year in year 1 of the 12-team playoff, he would have made a hypothetical 12-team playoff 4 out of his 10 years at Penn State. His best finish at Penn State was probably that 2016 season when they went to the Rose Bowl, lost to USC and Sam Darnold that year. That was with Saquon Barkley, a really good team. Trace McSorley was on that team as well. Chris Godwin, Deshaun Hamilton potentially.
How did that team lose?
Because Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
It looks like a thumb.
A little bit of one. So you have that was probably their best year, but goodness sakes, that was almost 9 years ago now that we're talking about that. 8 years ago.
James Franklin has consistently underperformed at Penn State. Consistently.
Hold on. So is it consistently underperformed according to Penn State and Michigan? Or excuse me, Ohio State and Michigan? Or is it into the scope of in the country? Because if you're looking at now what the Big Ten landscape looks like going forward with conference realignment, it got tougher for James Franklin to win. It got tougher for everybody to win a Big Ten championship. But not only now does James Franklin have to be better than Ohio State or Michigan. And Michigan, which he hasn't been consistently over the last 10 years at Penn State. Because this is going to be his 11th season in 2024 with the Nittany Lions after he came from Vanderbilt. But he's got to now be better than USC, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon. There was no margin for slip up, but now magnify that by double because you bring in another two conference playoff another two national playoff contenders.
You went from third best team in the Big Ten to fourth best team in the Big Ten behind Oregon. You're better than USC.
Okay.
Penn State's better than USC. They need to stop with the slip-ups in games they should not lose. It's happened year after year. One game where they're favored, they end up losing that game. They lose to Ohio State, they lose to Michigan, they finish the season with 3 losses. And James Franklin just keeps saying, well, it'll be next year. We get a big recruiting class. We're bringing all these athletes. We'll get them again next year. The next year comes, you lose to Ohio State, you lose to Michigan. Those two teams are consistently better than you. They will be better than you. This year, with Sherrone Moore at the helm at Michigan, is going to be your best chance to be the second best team in the Big Ten. Because Ohio State is far and above the best team in the Big Ten. Penn State, in order to avoid underperforming, has to be the second best team. They have to find a way to keep Oregon out of the Big Ten title game, make the playoff, and get past, get to the Final Four in the college football playoff. And then I believe that would be a not overachieving season. That would probably be the season that Penn State is really looking for in this 11th year, 12th year with James Franklin at the helm, because you've just consistently been finishing behind the Buckeyes and the Wolverines year after year. You need something of a pick-me-up for the Nittany Lions. And that's not going to come unless you at least make it to the Big Ten championship.
So Penn State's schedule lines up like this. By the way, James Franklin, his career record at Penn State, 88-39. He's won 69% of his games, 4-5 in bowl games while at Penn State. That came off of that 24-15, the 3 9-win seasons at Vanderbilt prior to 2014 when he took over for Bill O'Brien after he left for Houston. So
Vandy used to be good.
The football schedule for Penn State lines up like this. They start on the road at West Virginia. Don't forget, that was a West Virginia team that almost fired their head coach prior to last season. West Virginia then rattles off a bowl-achieving season, and they extended Neil Brown in Morgantown. So the Penn State travels to Morgantown, West Virginia, to face off against the Mountaineers on August 31st. Then it's returning home against Bowling Green, Kent State, before you open up college or conference play with Illinois at home, UCLA at home. Can we all agree 5-0 to start?
Yeah.
Then it's at USC on October 12th.
That's a win.
Then you come back and you travel to Wisconsin.
That's a win.
Versus Ohio State.
That's a loss.
Versus Washington. Win.
Sorry, Jed.
At Purdue, at Minnesota, versus Maryland to round it out.
1 loss.
And that's Ohio State. At home.
Should be. You know they're going to mess around, and they're going to lose at USC, and they're going to lose to Wisconsin. That's what's going to happen with Penn State.
Ohio State's so darn good.
They're
so not to bring in like college football 25 into this conversation,
but it's necessary.
So they released the top 100 players in the game yesterday, and 8 of them are wearing Ohio State jerseys. 2 of them are the running backs, Quinshon Judkins and then Travion Henderson. It's ridiculous.
That's a crazy 1-2 punch if Travion can stay healthy. Remember when he was supposed to go to Virginia Tech?
Yeah, I do. Anyway, all right, let's that's crazy. Ohio State's schedule, just for grins and giggles here. Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, 3-0. Michigan State, 4-0. Iowa, 5-0. Oregon.
That's the tough one. That's the one that will decide a lot.
So Ohio State travels to Oregon October 12th, and then
that October 12th
Ohio State gets a bye before they host Nebraska.
Yeah, we talked about that. It's not fair.
It isn't fair. That October 12th day
is loaded.
So you're going to have Oregon, Ohio State. You also will have Penn State, USC. What are we looking at?
I think
college
there's an Alabama.
Schedule.
I think Texas and Oklahoma is that day.
This is the week of Nebraska's bye, I believe.
I believe so. That's the Texas Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry game. I think Alabama plays somebody big.
All right, so October 12th, the week of October 12th. It's week 7. The Thursday game is FIU and Liberty. Tuesday game is FIU and Liberty. Wednesday is New Mexico State and Jacksonville State. Then you have 3 games on Thursday, 4 games on Friday, including Utah at Arizona State and Northwestern at Maryland.
Sign me up for one of those.
Saturday, we got Ole Miss, LSU, Florida, and Tennessee. Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, USC. Or excuse me, it was Minnesota, UCLA. Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, USC. Kansas State and Colorado. That'd be
Colorado?
fun. At Colorado.
Interesting.
Couple more here. Texas at Oklahoma, like you mentioned. South Carolina at Alabama. Stanford at Notre Dame. Yep, there you go. And then a conference matchup between Oregon State and Nevada. At Nevada. Oregon State's got to travel.
That's ridiculous.
Got to travel to Nevada.
That's a big college football day.
Big college football
And
day.
no Nebraska.
And no Nebraska. Enjoy the bye week, folks.
I'm getting some wings. I'm sitting in front of the TV and I'm watching football all day.
I'm glad you got it planned out.
Shout out to YouTube TV because they're going to give me those 4 boxes of football.
I'm just pumped to get our weekend picks going again. Do I have last year's record still? I should.
We don't need to go through that. I was very bad last year.
Hold on. All right, here we go. 2022 season. So this is going to be year 3 of weekend picks.
Yeah.
So in 2022, you were 59-68. I was 83-43.
Okay.
2023, I was 79-51. You were 63-71. Austin was 58-64.
Hey, Austin joined us.
Strick was 47-45.
Yeah, Strick for a guy who didn't play.
Show up a
every
whole
week.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, by the way, if you want to sponsor weekend picks, feel free to do so.
Still open.
Yep. There you go. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we bring in Austin and Strick for the crossover and get you ready for On the Block coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. And I mean everything. Top tier equipment? Check. 24-hour access? You bet. Free fitness training? Always. Workouts in the free PF app? What'd I tell you? Even super friendly team members.
Hey, welcome to Planet Fitness.
Oh, hey, I was just mentioning you.
Hey.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th. See Home Club for details.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I don't care what anybody says. I think losing Evan Cooper is a blow. It hurts. I'm not saying that
they got an upgrade.
I didn't say we didn't recover from it.
With John Butler, since he's been with the Bills since 2018, secondary coach, passing game coordinator a few years in, he's had the number 1 passing defense twice. And that's in the NFL. You know, that's as high as football gets. So again, his resume is just very impressive. Very impressive.
Husker fan, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red. Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and Air Park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Take your internet service to new levels with Allo, your award-winning internet provider across our fiber hoods. Allo isn't just about the fastest internet available. It's about connecting you to your world, work, and play seamlessly. Our award-winning service ensures affordable, secure, and reliable connectivity, setting us apart. Ready to transform your internet experience? Experience the fiber difference today. Sign up now at allofiber.com. Allo, connecting your world.
Old School with DP and J.
You have to get ready for this long haul of a season that you put, hopefully, your blood, sweat, and tears into training to be in your best form. And whatever team does it at a higher percentage, that means if you have 100 players and you do it at a 90%, 90% of the guys do it on a 90% basis, generally it correlates to what your wins and losses.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, patchy fog this morning, otherwise mostly sunny skies, an afternoon high around 87. Tonight, mostly clear skies with an overnight low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies again, temperatures heating up, see a high around 94. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. I knew I was blaring in Strick's ears, so I had to keep on talking. You want to pull the microphone down? Let's get engaged.
Join the party.
Join the party. For bong. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
402-464-5685. You heard Strick. Hey, Austin.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing?
Good. I'm doing well. We were talking about sharks because there's a lot of attacks going on right now.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark. Mama shark, mama shark, mama shark, mama shark.
Okay, we're done. Okay. Well, that's going to get in everybody's head. That is going to get in everybody's head. There is not one person listening if they know what that does. Yeah, they're like.
You started singing with us. Admit it.
Anyway.
402-464-5685.
Admit it. Don't lie.
It's Shark Week on Discovery Channel, y'all.
It is Shark Week. Bad timing because there's a lot of attacks going on.
Or maybe perfect timing.
Stricky's out on ocean water.
I'm out.
Salt water.
I'm out.
Not a fan.
This makes me nervous.
Gulf water, salt water, any water. It doesn't matter.
Mark Cuban is a shark. Are you out on him?
I'm out.
Mark's out.
Sorry.
Here's what's crazy. I don't know if I told the story of when I was in Mexico in January. tipped my kayak in the ocean.
You're crazy.
I heard the story on the way to Philly.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Austin
Yeah,
did
this
hear
is
the
awesome.
story.
You're crazy.
I'm not gonna go in depth on it, but let's just say it wasn't my fault that the kayak tipped.
Uh-huh.
But
you just said you tipped the kayak.
Well, because I wasn't gonna throw
the other person.
The other person under the bus.
I feel like I know who it was.
Yeah, probably. It's not
Yeah.
very hard to. They might be listening.
The nerve. How dare they?
Anyway, so so we were probably about, I don't know, a pretty decent way from shore, and we had to get saved by jet skis because we tipped the kayak
and couldn't get back over.
Well, I mean, we couldn't tip it back over because
In the Gulf?
we're in the ocean.
In the Gulf of Mexico.
I don't know what body of ocean it was. It was in Cancun. I don't know. It was
the Gulf.
But yeah, so it was. I don't know. But now seeing all these shark attacks, terrifying. Because it took a while to like flag down the jet ski folks. Because there's a lot of people kayaking out there, and so you just. But here's the thing, like, and when I went,
So you're just dangling feet.
yeah, so
all
you're just
deep in the water.
you're just holding on to the kayak. And here's what's crazy. So like I when I went down to Milford Lake a couple of weeks ago down in Kansas, I kayaked down there, or I did paddle boarding and didn't tip over once. And I've kayaked multiple times, never tipped over. Well, so I go out in the ocean
Immediately.
and it wasn't immediately. We got probably almost 500, 1,000 yards from shore. And the waves out there, they just don't stop. Like, I mean, the waves in the ocean just don't stop, and they're much more aggressive than lakes. And so
you have Loch Ness Monster in the lake, though.
Probably, yeah, something like that. And so, when one person starts leaning over one way, you try to counteract it by kind of leaning the other way.
Didn't work.
And it didn't work, and it just because a wave comes over and
surprise,
it just flipped us.
When we went to
Two-person
Florida-
kayaking is tough too.
Yeah,
It is.
when we went to Florida, we went swimming with dolphins, and they took us right out of. We were at Clearwater Beach, I want to say, and they took us out of the area where all the boats are, like into the Gulf, and we finally saw a dolphin. And the dude that's driving the boat said, "When I see one, and I tell you to get out, get
Yeah.
out. Like you gotta go so you can get in there and see the dolphins." Well, he says it. We go out there, we're swimming, and they kind of swim underneath us, so you're looking down with the snorkel and the goggles. And I'm like, God, this is so cool. Like we're in the ocean with dolphins, and they kind of swim away, and I'm still staring down because it's just nothing. There's just darkness.
Yeah.
And I get in my head, and I sit there and I go, there could be anything down there right now.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said that, I said, I need to get back in the boat.
And
I need to get back in the boat.
I'm not terrified of the ocean. Like I get nervous with the ocean, like because there's so much unknown, and it's like the whole like alligator thing or like going on safaris. I'm out on safaris just because it's like I'm in their home, and I don't know what they're gonna do.
I want to go.
And so, like, there's videos of elephants tipping cars over of people in there when they're just on the safari, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm not outrunning an elephant. I'm not gonna be able to beat up an elephant. Like, might as well just
Doggone baboons will tear you another
Yeah.
one. Watch out.
Serpentine.
yeah. And so anyway, when I was out there, I surprisingly, and probably for the best for both of us, I was the one calming the other person down. Like, it's going to be fine. They got us. The jet ski's coming. But if you would have told me like before that, hey, so if you two tipped over, who's the one freaking out more? I'd be like, it's me. We tipped over. I'm holding on to the kayak. Obviously, we got life jackets on. Holding on to the kayak, trying to wave down the jet ski, the people that are, come and get you. And it was like, it's going to be okay. So we hop on the jet ski and we go in, and I was just like, we're done.
Never again.
Never again in the ocean.
Just recently, I saw there was. So here's the thing that I get a little antsy about: parasailing.
Yeah.
So they take you up in the parasail thing. It's dope. It's kind of some height.
Have you done it?
Yes.
Okay. Because I declined it in Mexico.
Yes, I did it. So what happens is they play with you. So they'll stop the boat, and you'll just kind of start slowly coming down, and they dip you into the water. And then you're dangling into the water, like think about what
it's like bait.
Right.
It's like bait.
I'm thinking
that's when you jig the fishing pole. You're like, come on,
my boy.
come
Right
on.
That's exactly
Here
what
he
I'm
is.
thinking, right?
And then they pull you up, and they're just like, see, look at all the sharks.
Look at all the sharks circling.
You just
look
said
at all the
something.
sharks circling.
You just said something. The people are up top.
Yeah.
They're looking down, and they see shark. And they're yelling at the boat, but it's so far away.
Yeah.
They're like, no, there's a shark. no, and they drop them.
A full
and
panic.
They're screaming.
A full
I
panic
saw a
attack.
Panic attack.
I am
bro.
out. Yeah,
No.
see, I don't know, man. I just like
nothing water. I don't want it. I don't want it. It's not the
I
same.
love the ocean. I just don't like being in it. I
gotta
don't
be a
like being
grotto.
deep into it. I just.
I'm watching Shark Week right now on Discovery Channel. It doesn't come on till like 8:00 at night. So we're watching it, and they were checking out some monster sharks, and they found some a mako shark that was like 15 feet long.
Yeah.
And they found a female great white that was 18 feet long.
That's what I'm saying.
They were like, yeah, this is the, I think it was a female, but they called it the Big Boss.
Bring back
and
Hugh
they're
Hefner.
like, they go, oh, here's some smaller
The
ones.
grotto.
They're like, here's some smaller ones at 15 feet.
Water,
And I go,
I'm
oh
only
yeah,
going.
so small.
I'm only going in the grotto. I'm only going in the in the Blue Lagoon. Like, listen, I went to Tahiti, and they have water bungalows, right? And so we literally they give you snorkeling, so you can literally wake up and just jump into the water. But listen, you can see everything. That's the only water I'm getting in.
I snorkeled.
I snorkeled to the edge.
Yeah.
And I looked over it, and it's like this.
The drop
It's
off?
like this. It's beautiful, and it's like, pew! And
Like
I
Finding
go to
Nemo.
the edge, and I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Let's go back.
I mean, I enjoyed the snorkeling a lot,
Mhm.
and I would snorkel again. I think the way I talked myself into it was there's a lot of people that do this, and you don't hear about it. So like the chances of me having something happen is slim. Plus, like this is a place that they go to they take all the groups. Hey, we're snorkeling here. So like if there was a serious risk, I think I would have held off.
Nick,
so
there's no cameras in the reef.
I'm looking. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The chances of getting bitten by a
Finding
shark.
Nick, not Nemo.
Yeah, honestly. Do you guys know what the odds are of being attacked and killed by a shark are?
Less than getting killed by a vending machine.
Okay.
I know that.
It's 1 in 3.75 million.
Yeah.
The US and Australia consistently report the most shark attacks. Your chances of dying,
Surfers get it.
the chances of dying from a shark attack are rare and lower than death by a lightning strike.
More people die by cows every year than sharks.
Cows are brutal, man.
Cows?
Cows.
Because that's because you go over there and tip them, and they get upset about it. You guys, they get mad at you guys for doing that craziness. I remember my high school brothers used to do that stuff. They strict, you want to go tipping? No, I'm going out no freaking cow.
Would you rather go cow tipping or swim with sharks?
Cow tipping.
Here's a question. Where do you guys think the most common place in the US to be attacked by a shark is?
It's definitely got to be in the Pacific.
No, Atlantic. It's the like the east.
It's
Somewhere-
Florida.
Oh, dang it.
912 shark attacks.
That's why Stricky stays in Orlando, right smack
That
dab in the
part.
middle.
You understand
In the
me.
middle.
You understand me.
Hawaii, California, and South Carolina have all had between 100 and 200 attacks
Dang.
since
So you're talking
1837.
about that big of a difference?
Yeah. The U.S. had most recorded shark attacks in 22. Around the world in the last 50 years,
Australia.
there have been more than 3,000 shark attacks in the last 50 years.
Who leads the world? Australia.
In 2022, the U.S. had the most recorded shark attacks in the world with 41.
Dang.
One of those 41 was fatal. Australia, meanwhile, ranked second with 9 attacks. So 32 fewer.
They not like us.
But no fatalities.
They hate us, my boy. The Sharks are like, but what's going on in America right now? I don't like it either.
So there's more bull sharks in Florida, like in the Florida area, and they got a higher level of testosterone. So they're just taking you out.
Hey, yo.
What's going
Rico,
on, my boy?
They do.
Like, how you know?
Shark Week.
So, hey, man. So a couple states.
A bull shark will tear you up, man.
Maine has 1 shark attack. Massachusetts with 4. Connecticut with 1. New York with 10. Jersey with 15.
Who swims in New York?
Yeah,
The
I've
Hudson,
seen,
man.
Yeah, people are taking jet skis in the Hudson.
Do you not know about Kramer? Cosmo?
I mean,
No, people are
but
seriously
used to-
taking
he
jet
used to-
skis
I'm
in the
not
Hudson
doing
now.
it. It's dirt. That's some
Dirty water.
Dirty
filthy,
water.
filthy water.
Virginia had 5. North Carolina with 64. South Carolina with 102. Florida with 812.
Warmer
How many at
climates.
Lake McConaughey?
Texas at 43. California 122. Oregon with 27. Washington with 2. Hawaii 159.
So the more north you go, the colder it is. So they don't want to hang
Hey,
up there.
Bull
Worry about
sharks?
polar bears up
Yeah,
there.
oceans off of Australia are known for being the habitat for deadly sharks, including the great white bull and tiger sharks.
Okay, Rico.
See, hey, man. See, this is what I'm out on. This is what people need to realize. Most shark attacks occur near the shore.
Facts.
Yep. Typically in sandbars or between sandbars where sharks become trapped during low tide. I'm out.
And they lay in wait.
I'm out.
Well, they're trying to get out.
No, that's where they get their
They're pissed off that they got stuck
seals.
in low tide.
The bait fish.
Yeah, the
That's where
seals.
That's where the bait fish are. They come in to get the fish. They
Yeah,
drive
I'm
them
out.
towards the coast so that they can get them and trap them, and then they end up getting trapped themselves. There's humans around. There's a lot of splashing, a lot of noise. They think it's a fish that's like in trouble and it's easy prey. So they go in and bite your calf, bite your foot. That happens.
They're
not going to drag you out of the ocean, but they'll take a nibble.
I don't know. Have you watched?
You're supposed to
watched
make eye
movies?
contact.
Their eyes are on the side of their head. So
You're
it's
supposed to
kinda hard
touch
to make
them
eye
on their
contact.
tip of their nose
So it says, okay, here we
and
go.
push them away. Yeah.
So it says if you see a shark
I'm not
while
doing
in
it,
the
though.
water, keep your eyes on it while slowly swimming back to shore.
Don't splash.
Eye contact signals to the shark that you know of its presence and are not easy, unsuspecting prey. If you see a shark charge and it attacks, hit his eyes or nose, and if possible, stick your hands into its gills and pull hard.
Yep.
While humans can sometimes be victims of sharks, far more sharks are victimized by humans each year. Oh, it's like the deer
there we
thing.
go.
It is.
It's like the deer
No,
thing.
the deer. There's too many deer.
I mean,
There's
it's
too
just-
many deer.
They're
The
more
deer
scared
need
of
to-
you than you are of them. It's
They
that
are.
whole deal.
We
They
need
don't-
venison.
They don't eat you on purpose, and then they just think that when you're splashing and you're scared. Again, they think
Yeah.
it's a fish that's in distress. They're like, all right, easy money, and then you got to keep your eye on them because they're ambush predators.
What
they
do you
don't
do
want
with a bear then?
Big Daddy Travis said,
You
my
die.
wife, hold on. So this is interesting. Big Daddy Travis, my wife convinced me to take a coyote out in Mexico. I was looking down the entire time, waiting to be eaten. That was my thing. Is like, here's the thing: whales aren't the nicest creatures either.
Yeah, no, they'll get you.
Whale's not gonna do nothing.
What was that movie where the
Probate's
person
right.
got stuck out there in the water for like all this time and they literally just it was a movie that I would be feared. Just think about
a lot of
no
movies like that.
moon and no light.
That's no
but
moon.
You're out there in the freaking middle of the ocean and just waiting.
That's a trap.
I would freak out, bro. I would lose my mind.
Crowbait's right. Bull sharks swim up rivers. They're the only shark that can survive in fresh water.
Oh no, man! I
I
don't know.
I could be bull spitting right now, but I'm pretty sure that years ago they found they saw a shark in the Missouri, like up over here.
A what?
A bull shark.
I call bull shark on that.
No,
Yeah.
man. A bull shark in the what?
I call baby
In the
shark.
Missouri.
Missouri River.
I call
We're gonna find
baby
this out.
shark.
I said I could be.
Okay, here we go.
Could be bull
shark.
sharking.
Have sharks ever been found? Angler catches shark in Missouri River.
There you go.
Wow.
Bull shark.
Is it a baby?
They can live-
26-inch bull shark caught upstream from Craig.
Wow.
Word of an unlikely catch in the Missouri River is sending shockwaves through the angling community. The fisherman, who asked to remain anonymous, was casting a streamer when, after a couple of quick stripes on the line, something ferociously attacked from the depths and raced upstream. I was just hanging on, he said as they gave the chase in a drift boat. I thought I hooked into a world record brown. But the fish fought like no trout the angler had ever felt on the end of his rod. Finally, after 2 hours, he was able to start inching line back onto the reel. I kept looking to see the flash of a tail, but when he finally came to the surface, I couldn't believe it. A bull shark, the first ever recorded in Montana, was solidly hooked in the corner. It was solidly hooked in the corner of the mouth. The angler and a friend managed to wrestle the beast into the boat. We've been getting reports for years of disappearing livestock in that stretch, said a Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Fisheries biologist. Quote, I guess this explains it. The female shark was pregnant, indicating a breeding population unknown to science, but likely trapped in the stretch between Holter Dam and Great Falls long before dams were built. Either that or it flew here, which I'm fairly confident sharks can't do.
Told you. Told you.
There you
So
go.
Next time you swim into Missouri, Just know
It says
there could be a bullseye.
That's hilarious. It's been great for business, said one fishing shop owner. The choice fly has been the white pelican on a slow retrieve, but they're catching a few on beaver patterns with a sinking leader.
Oh yeah, I know all of those words.
Do not know what any of that meant. That comes from 2015. The best part of that article, the best part of the article was, I was just hanging on, he said, as they gave chase in a drift boat. I thought I hooked into a world record brown. There you have it. All right, Sharks. How about that? That's crazy. All right, Montana. What's coming up on the show today, gentlemen?
Well, now I'm torn between talking about Team USA or the Minnesota State Fair Foods.
Oh, that'd be a fun topic.
Is shark on the menu?
Maybe there's a reason I brought it up.
Hello.
We'll have to see.
There you go.
Continuity.
The shootout with Strick, and then a lot of Husker headlines. Men basketball non-con released. Husker Football Hall of Fame released. Big Ten Media Days players. We know them now. We'll talk about that. And then I'm dipping at 3:30 to get down to PBA. So Stricky and Rico are going to talk about something. So stay tuned for that.
Hey, I'm going to let you guys talk about Nebraska Hall of Fame, but a notable name on there that you might know. Yeah, one of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. We'll tell you about it coming up on the block. Stay tuned. Strick and Austin coming up next.
Adios.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career